Hello everyone, welcome back to my new channel. I'm Chef Morgan, and here I take recipes I find online and let you know whether they stand tall or suck balls. Sex sells, and that's why for this first video I have not one, but two phallic recipes. Both of the recipes we're trying out today are pickle themed. I don't really know why I said pickle themed. All I mean by that is that both of these recipes, the main ingredient is a pickle. The first one is apparently a semi-viral trend on TikTok. Now, if you've never heard of this before, don't worry, I hadn't either, but I saw one person call it a viral TikTok trend, so I'm just gonna take them at face value. Recipe numero dos is one I'm dubbing the PBR. No, not that kind of PBR. I'm talking about the pickle bacon ranch. And this recipe comes from one of my absolutely favorite insane people on Instagram, at Keto Snacks.
Mix ranch seasoning and pickles, let it sit for a day, take them out, wrap with bacon, put them in the oven, and oh my gosh, these are so delicious.
Now to start off, we're gonna actually start with the second recipe, which begs the question why I didn't just call the second recipe the first recipe. So first we just gotta take a regular old jar of spear pickles, add some ranch seasoning into the jar, and let it sit for a day. So a few things to note. In the original Instagram reel, he had a smaller packet of ranch and he dumped the whole thing in there. I could not find any of the individual packets at the two stores I went to, so I just got a tiny jar of the pre-mixed ranch seasoning, and I measured out 1 ounce, which seemed to be the average size of those single packets. Also, it was very difficult to actually get all of the seasoning in the jar. I would highly recommend just removing 1 pickle spear before you try putting the seasoning in the jar. That would have saved me a lot of cleanup and some waste that I had to get rid of. Also, here's me trying to get some thumbnail images. Thankfully, I don't do anything other than make YouTube videos, so I'm just gonna go take a quick 24-hour nap, and then we'll be back. My pickles! Okay, now that we've waited an entire 24 hours letting our pickles marinate in that unholy dill ranch dressing combo, we're gonna wrap them in some nice thick cut bacon, then pop them in the oven at 425 degrees for 20 minutes, which seems excessive, but I suppose we're going for some very crispy bacon. Now, I already turned my oven on, got it preheating, so let's go wrap these in bacon. Let's see how that goes. Now, this is the baking tray I'm gonna use. Here are the 1-day ranch marinated pickles and some Bob Evans hickory smoked bacon. It is fresh. I opened the bacon the morning of filming to have some for breakfast. This is like the slimiest thing possible right now. This does not feel fun by any means. Alright, our oven is fully preheated now to 425 degrees Fahrenheit. Like I said before, we're going to take these and pop these into our 425 degree oven for 20 minutes, which once again feels excessive to me, but hey, let's do it, bitch. So it turns out I need to clean my oven door. I really wanted to get like a cool like time-lapse shot of them cooking, but apparently I need to get better about cleaning the oven door and I can't do it while the oven's preheated to 425 degrees Fahrenheit. So there's still 7 minutes on the timer right now. It smells great in here, but they're actually looking like they might need a little bit more than 7 minutes, which is crazy because I definitely thought 20 minutes is gonna be way too long. Okay, our 20-minute timer has gone off. I'm gonna pop these out of the oven, let them sit for about 5 minutes so I don't burn my mouth, and then we're gonna fucking eat them and review them, and I'm gonna talk about them, okay? Okay, I think I've let these cool down enough. They look quite nice. I actually think they cooked pretty well. Pickles don't seem too dried up. The bacon got a little crispy on the edges, but Yeah, this piece in particular got a little burnt on the end, but that's okay. Now, he dipped it in ranch in the video when he ate it. I'm gonna try it with and without ranch dressing, just to have all my bases covered. I didn't let it cool down enough. Okay, so here's my thoughts. I'm really glad I tasted it without the ranch dressing at first, because to be honest, the ranch dressing seasoning, dill marinade, didn't really come through that much. I even took a bite of just the pickle without the bacon wrapped on it, without any ranch dressing. I wasn't getting much ranch flavor at all, if any. I still just tasted the overwhelming flavor of dill on the pickle. Now, that being said, is a bacon wrapped pickle good? Yeah, it fucks. And if you dip it in ranch, do you get that lovely PBR pickle bacon ranch flavor combo? Yeah, you absolutely do. But does that make the 24-hour marinade completely pointless? I think so, yeah. If you really want the pickle bacon ranch experience, just take pickles straight out of the fridge, wrap them in bacon, bake them for 20 minutes, and then dip them in ranch. You don't need to wait 24 hours for the ranch seasoning to marinate because it really didn't do anything, which was surprising. So, on the scale of easiness to make, I'm gonna have to take it to a 7.5 out of 10. It's pretty easy to make, and honestly, if you got rid of the marinating ranch step, it'd be like a 9 out of 10. It's a very simple recipe to make. The only thing that's like a little gross, a little difficult is wrapping the bacon around the pickle, which is still pretty easy. Taste-wise, for me, I'm gonna have to go a 9 out of 10. A solid 9 out of 10. And I am taking that with the ranch dip. I'm gonna give that a 9 out of 10. That being said, this is probably gonna be a pretty divisive recipe. Pickles are... Usually people either love pickles or hate pickles, and I feel like ranch dressing is a pretty similar thing. If you like these foods, you're gonna like them combined together, and I would strongly recommend it. On to recipe number 1. Up second, we have recipe number 1, the chickle. Now in the intro, I didn't really explain what the chickle is. I just showed you a short clip and then moved on. Now clearly the ickle comes from pickle, but where does the CH come from? What? Chicken? Cheese? Chives? It's cheese. It's cheese. It's a cheesy pickle. Yeah. If you're lactose intolerant, get the fuck off my page. This kitchen is a tolerant, safe space for all lactose. No, but seriously, this recipe is like 50% cheese, 50% pickle, so definitely not for those with a weak constitution. Shit, I just realized I'm not even in my chef uniform. Give me 1 second while I go get changed. Ugh. All right, there we go. That's better. What do you guys think? Do you prefer the chef jacket I was wearing before or the nasty apron that I'm wearing now? Let me know in the comments below. Although I didn't explain the recipe in the intro, I did let you know that this is a trend kind of going on right now. But the first place I saw it and the place I'm taking the recipe from is at Kalen and Kalen on Instagram. Wait, hold on a second. Upon further inspection, they took the recipe from at Freddy Artega 98 on TikTok. Those motherfuckers almost fooled me. Fuck you, Kalen, and double fuck you to the other Kalen. This recipe is pretty simple. I'm gonna quickly flash all the ingredients you need on screen right now, and we're gonna go cook it. Looky here, all the ingredients shown once again. Almost feels redundant to have wrote it all out 2 seconds ago. So first we are gonna take our shredded mozzarella cheese and just make a nice thick blanket of it on the pan before we turn up the heat. I did it this way so I could really control the size and coverage of my cheese without having to worry about it melting as soon as it hit the surface. Once you're happy with your layer of cheese, turn that bitch up. I'd recommend medium-high heat. Unfortunately, there must have been something stuck to the bottom of my pan or under the burner because less than 2 minutes in, it started smoking pretty bad. But once you get a little bit of melt going, you sprinkle a little bit of garlic. Oh, wow, didn't show that on screen for long. A little bit of garlic on the cheese, then a little bit of grated Parmesan on top of that. Look at that. Now we're getting a nice bit of browning on the edges and presumably the bottom. So it's about time to come in with the pickle. And now is time for the scariest part, the roll-up. Fuck, okay. Oh god, we gotta go in with the hands. Nice recovery. Okay, cool, nice arm, good content. Look at that, I really did it, I did it! Boom. That's the chickle, baby. Not to toot my own horn, but I think I kind of nailed the golden brown cheese outer casing. I think I did a pretty pretty damn good job at that. I actually thought I was gonna fuck that one up real bad. It was a little touch and go there for a second because as the cheese was browning, I was struggling to get not only the grated Parmesan open, but also struggling to get the pickles open. So I thought I might burn it, but we nailed it. Now this guy also put a little bit of ranch dressing on the top of his chickle. Like I did with the second recipe, I'm gonna try it first without any ranch dressing, and then I'll try it with the ranch as well. Okay, that was a little bit weird. The first thing that came to mind when eating it, and I just don't ask me to explain this. The first thing that came to my mind was, this seems like something Taco Bell would make because it's like a little fucked up, a little bit cursed, but it's not bad though either. It's just like, why would you think of that? Why would you think to do that? You know, that's weird that you thought of that. What? That being said, not bad. First off, on the ease of creation scale, I'll put up right now the word what I want to call the scale, how easy it is to make. Shit, I'm gonna give that like a 8.5. I thought it was gonna be a little bit harder going in. I thought I was gonna have a real tough time with the cheese sticking to the pan, but a nice metal spatula under there and flip it, you really shouldn't have no issue whatsoever. On the taste scale, sure, it was weird. I'm gonna be honest. I don't think I liked this one quite as much as the first one, but it was still pretty darn good. I'm gonna give it an 8.5 out of 10. The outer, you know, the actual cheese part of the chickle was real warm, real hot because it just came off the stove. But the inside, the pickle was still a little bit cold. I forgot to put ranch on it. It's a moment of vulnerability. Morgan's mistakes too for this episode. Wow, isn't it weird how I said there were gonna be 2 recipes, but look how much of the video is left. What could that mean? You may be asking yourself right now. Up third, we're gonna combine these 2 recipes to make the chickle bacon ranch. Look, chefs just can't make other people's recipes all the time. We gotta create our own stuff. Unless, if you won't tell, I won't tell. And since I'm definitely a real chef, I'm gonna take these 2 recipes and combine them into something new. That's what creating a new recipe is, right? Just taking 2 things and putting them together. That's new. That's innovative. That's fucking bonkers. So for the CBR, we're gonna be using the flat pickle slices from the chickle. We're gonna take 2 of these bad boys out, and on one of them, we're gonna sprinkle just a little bit of ranch seasoning. Then we're gonna take our shredded moss and put some between the 2 pickle slices. I know, I'm blowing your mind right now, aren't I? Then take a nice old thick slice of bacon and wrap it around that shit. And now we're gonna bake at 375 for 20 to 30 minutes. All right, our oven is now fully heated to 375 degrees. We're going to pop our chickle bacon ranch creation into the oven, and then once it's out, I'll tell you what we're gonna do next. I let that sit in the oven at 375 degrees for approximately 25 minutes, just a little bit over 25 minutes. Now what we're gonna do is introduce the rest of the chickle portion. I know we sprinkled a little bit of mozzarella cheese in between the 2 slices of pickle, but we are going to create the full casing on the CBR as well. 'Cause I mean, you can't just incorporate the chickle recipe if you're not gonna do the outer cheesy shell. Nice, that definitely wasn't a weird cut at all that I did do in between 2 words. But from here on out, we're just gonna follow the chickle recipe, sprinkle that mozz down. Here's a 5-second time lapse of it melting because I thought you might enjoy that. I know it didn't look like it because that clip played at like 8,000% speed, but I did sprinkle garlic and parm on this as well. Now we drop our fully cooked bacon wrapped pickle, and once again, attempt the roll. Now apparently I dropped my pickle on there way too early because the cheese was not nearly ready to be rolled yet. So I just let the pickle sit there for a while. Really epic cinematography moments. My arm blocks the camera for like the entirety of the flip. Fuck yeah, that's the CBR. Okay, the chickle bacon ranch has been created, which is probably the first time anyone has ever said that. Maybe. Gotta say, this thing is fucking hefty, guys. But I'm excited to try it. That was insane. How do I say this? That chickle bacon ranch tastes like everything that's wrong with America, but also everything that's right with America. It's like a punch in the stomach, but like a nice little kiss on the forehead at the same time. I like it, I think. But also, I don't think I can ever make that again. That was ridiculous. On the easiness to make scale, I'm gonna have to take it down a little bit from the last two. Well, a little bit down from the last one. It's still easier to make than the original Pickle Bacon Ranch, but harder to make than the chickle itself. So I'm gonna put that right at a nice little even 7.5. I'm gonna put that at for ease of access. And then for the taste, that's a 10 out of 10. That's the best thing we've had today. Oh my God. I think the bacon really took the chickle up to a whole new level. I think the chickle was definitely missing some savoriness to it. So yeah, 10 out of 10 for the Chickle Bacon Ranch. Hey, and look, I made something new. So now I can say I'm definitely a real chef. That should be the name of the channel.